Hi, this is Ranadip Madhu. I've come up with another video. This time the video is on political view, uh, and the topic is voting in first phase of West Bengal election starting from today should happen from evening shift, not from morning shift. And the reason behind it is very simple. Now it is summer, starting point of summer, and believe me, this time I think temperature is beyond normal or average temperature in April, and today's temperature is around 37 or 38, and the constituency in which voting is happening in first phase, for example, if you talk about Lal Gola in Murshidabad, the temperature is in around 38 degrees Celsius, and believe me, the voting is not happening under the shade. Part of it is happening under the shade, but you have to be on the queue. You have to be on the queue, standing on a queue under the heavy sun will definitely drain you out. You need additional assistance in terms of liquid intake, and believe me, doing or giving a vote early in the morning is not feasible. Everybody in cities, in I don't have the villages, in cities, people tend to go for general shift duty only instead of morning shift duty, and it's only, I think, very few schools like Kendriya Vidyalaya, wherein I have studied, they go for morning shift school only, and rest of the schools also are running in general shift. So giving early vote, and first phase of voting is starting at around 7 o'clock in the morning and extending till 6 o'clock in the evening, and giving a vote early in the morning is highly unlikely for city dwellers, and in that scenario we always look for general shift voting, and that also on queue under the heavy sun is very tough. And probably because of this, many of us, not me, I'll be giving my vote because the location is very nearer to my place. My home is in Bagajati. Name of my home is Madhuvila. Just adjacent to Madhuvila there is Bagajatin High School Boys, wherein I have been given a seat for voting. Room number 6 in on 29th. So I will be going for voting, but believe me, there are places wherein you have to be standing on queues, long queues, and you are away from your home, on the road, on queue, and under the heavy sun in general shift. So keeping that situations in consideration, I thought it is a right time to give a newer perspective to Election Commission of India, because elections happens in winter, election happens in summer. Forgetting all the environmental conditions, our Election Commission of India is simply making one rule for every seasons. Election can happen in rainy season also. Luckily we are not given a situation wherein election will happen in rainy season. Had or will that kind of situation be created in the future, wherein election or voting is happening in rainy season, people will stop thinking about standing on queue. So probably that kind of situation Election Commission of India will be avoiding. But in summer, voting on queue or standing on queue is not very easy. You have to bear all the heat. It's not foreign, wherein people love to do sun basking. We hate to do sun basking since 30-40 years, and I don't know if we can, if we tell a foreigner to stand on a queue for voting, that foreigner will never raise a voice against this kind of activity. He will love to do that, but we Indians love to hate. In fact, we hate to do standing on queue, especially in voting. So keeping that thing in consideration, it is better to initiate voting in evening shift. Why I am telling is because at night there will be lesser temperature, and evening shift is from universal evening shift is, as everybody knows, from 1400 hours till 2200 hours, meaning 2 o'clock in the afternoon till 10 o'clock in the night. So this is the range wherein people would love to stand on queue, because definitely evening shift is like at the fall of sun or during dusk time, people will stand in the queue, and definitely people love to roam around, come out of house in the evening only. So it will be a leisure sort of activities. It will be a kind of an entertainment activities, and people would love to stand on queue and give voting, especially in the evening and maybe late evening, which we call it like 8 or 9 in the night. So that is the optimum time during summer season wherein voting should be initiated. Instead of voting window kept open from 7 o'clock in the morning extending till 6 o'clock, and people who, most of the people, city dwellers, definitely want to go for voting after 10 o'clock in the morning. So keeping that thing into consideration, they will never live to stand on queue under the heavy sun. And probably I don't think so. The keeping a shade and wherein inside the shade queuing will be allowed is not highly likely in Indian scenario. In West Bengal, I'm talking about. So keeping that thing into consideration, I think evening shift allowance in voting would be the right choice, especially in summer season. Had it been winter season, then obviously uh, standing on queue under the sun is the best possible scenario. But in summer you will be feeling the heat, and due to heat there will be possibility of sunstroke also. I have not heard about any sort of possibilities earlier of sunstroke during voting. I have not read any news like that in my past, but probably this time in April, wherein the temperature is beyond average temperature and has reached a temperature of May June timeline, and probably standing on queue under the heavy sun will create this kind of sunstroke activities during voting. So probably I think Election Commission of India would love to, definitely want to avoid this kind of uh, emergency cases in voting, and probably I think it would be better if they can extend the uh, voting rights from evening shift till keeping the entire voting right inside the evening shift instead of morning shift. 7 o'clock in the morning, who will be getting up? A person who has passed school would definitely like to get up after 8 o'clock only, because obviously his entire daily activities runs in general shift only. So yes, early in the morning if you are can able to vote, then it is a possibility, but most of the city dwellers won't try to would definitely avoid that. So anyway, keeping these things in consideration, I think this will be the best possible scenario, and probably I think already everything has been decided. So probably this time they are not going to make a change, because it is very difficult to change all of a sudden, and probably this idea will be kept in mind in the near future, and probably ECI would take consideration in the coming election, be it a Lok Sabha or Vidhan Sabha election, and that way they keeping the season in consideration, they should place the voting activity like that. If it is a winter, then in the morning or throughout the day they can go for voting. If it is summer, then definitely in the evening shift the voting activity should be done. So whatever it may be, it's a suggestion and a simple idea, because last time I heard in newspapers that many people turned out turned out in lesser number during voting just because of heavy temperature. They don't want to bear that kind of atrocities under the sun, and probably because of that there were lesser number of turnouts in other in uh, heavy temperature area. So probably this that last time they did not they did not keep this kind of situation in control, and that's why once again they have come up with this kind of nonsensical idea of allowing the vote early in the morning and continuing throughout the day till the evening. And probably in summer season it is very difficult to do this kind of activities. Let the ECI people stand on queue under the heavy sun, and they will realize that it is not easy. We are Indians, we hate summers. Foreigners definitely love summers, but we Indians hate summers. We don't want to spend under the sun during summer, but in winter we are definitely going for that. So whatever, So just a mere suggestion, not any sort of degrading the stature of ECI, just a mere suggestion like a commoner, and I think in the future ECI will take notice of this kind of idea and would make arrangements like that accordingly. Just imagine the situation. I have never seen voting happening in rainy season. Just imagine the situation. Had our votings happened in rainy season, our entire ideology of standing on the queue would have been eliminated. What would happen? Completely a new structure of voting activity would happen. Its time slots would be given. Time slots would be given to each and every individual of a citizen eligible for voting. And within that time slot, the person will be appearing in the center directly without standing on the queue. Isn't it? Now what is happening? You are keeping the window open from morning till 6 o'clock in the evening, wherein the window open for an individual for 1 hour, 2 hours in a specific time slot. So there won't be any possibility of queuing during voting if you can give a time slot to an individual. So this time it is not happening. They are simply saying that go to this particular place on this particular date within this time limit and just go and give the vote in this room number in high school. For me it is like that. So they should allow a time slot wherein they can easily keep the allocated persons for voting without standing on a queue. So this is the possibility which can happen if voting happens in rainy season, because they cannot stand on a queue in rainy season. So whatever it may be, so that could be lot of changes, manual changes, possibilities, and I believe that the ECI would take notice of this kind of changes, these kinds of possibilities in the future, such that the Aam Aadmi's activity in voting becomes more peaceful and entertaining. At the same time, people sometimes comes out with this idea that we are standing on a queue for some time under the sun. Why ECI not or the government of India are not giving us basic food intake, maybe a drink or maybe a solid drink or solid food as such. So that kind of possibility can also be welcomed during voting. So whatever it may be, since you are keeping your citizen under the heavy sun for voting for the greater good of Indian nation, greater good of Indian nation, you have to take care of the Indian citizen as well. So because of that, I am saying it that there should be some food in the form of liquid or solid be given to citizens coming for voting. So anyway, lot of possibilities can be welcomed during voting by ECI, and probably in the near future for Lok Sabha or Vidhan Sabha elections, and these kind of possibilities can be harnessed. So that's all a idea which actually erupted in my mind, and I thought that it would be better to share with you all people, my subscriber, well wishers, and other people who love to listen to me. So anyway, that's all. Today is first phase of polling. Those who are eligible for polling must have gone for polling, and definitely have enjoyed the entire scenario, because it is their rights. That right will create or strengthen your citizenship in our country. So that's all. I wish you a nice day. Bye.